Okay, good morning. What I'm trying to do here in one video is to knock off the second and third of the three problems under the category of ANOVA tests in your Mastery Practice Problems and Solutions workbook. And it won't take that long because I'm going to use the calculator in both cases. Both of these problems give you the data, and with the data you just enter in various lists, call up the ANOVA test, and you have to be careful that the answer to the problem doesn't fall off the computer screen and hit you in the foot, because it doesn't take very long to do these problems. So let me switch gears now and solve problem 2, which is a problem about a state employee wishes to see if there's a significant difference in the number of employees at interchanges of 3 state toll roads. So you're going to get 3 different groups here, each with its own mean, and you're going to be asked the question, are all these means the same or are they different? All right, so here we go. Okay, let's turn the calculator on here. And what I've done is I've already loaded the data from this problem too, and I can go to Stat, Edit, and show you, and there it is here. This first, what's in L1 is 7, 14, 32, 19, 10, 11, and that's exactly what's over here in the in problem 2. List 2 has got list 2 and 3 has got the rest of the data. So really most of the problem is done at this point, because the next thing I have to do is go to Stat, run over to Tests, and run down now and find the ANOVA test, which is typically right at the end. There it is right there, ANOVA test. Let's select it. And all it's asking you is, where is the data? So let's tell it it's in L1. I'm going to put in a comma after L1. It's in L2 with a comma, and it's in L3, and then I'm going to close the parenthesis. And I'm just going to tell it to go. And there it is. It has calculated the F factor for you, the test value. It's calculated the p-value associated with that test value, and then, as you can see, it's got some of the degrees of freedom information, the sum of squares, for both what's called the error and the factor data. So really, at this point, all you want is the fact that the p-value is 0.02. 0.02 is less than 0.05, which is the significance level, and therefore you're going to reject the mean. And the answer to this question is there a significant difference in the average number of employees at each interchange? And the answer is yes, there probably is. Okay, so let me clear this. Let me go to let me just fade out and set the calculator up for the next test here. All right, very good. Okay, so here's problem 3. This is a research study conducted to examine the clinical efficacy of a new antidepressant. So you've got 3 groups: placebo, low dose, moderate dose, and you're asked if these 3 different treatments have any difference in their responses or not. And of course we're going to use ANOVA to do that. And if you look at how the problem's set up, it's kind of begging you to do it by hand, right? That is, it's asking you to go find the median and the variance of the mean and the variance of each one of the treatments. And at that point, since you've got the same size for each treatment group, you could run through that simple hand calculation. But you can see that instead I'm going to take the easy way out. I already have the data loaded. Here's 38, 47, 39, 38, 7, 49. You can take just a moment and see that what's loaded into list 1, 2, and 3 is what is in this data table. So at that point I can go to Stat, swing over to Tests, go find ANOVA, which is really right on the very bottom. Select ANOVA and tell the calculator where the data is It's in list 1, give yourself a comma. It's in list 2, give yourself a comma. And it's in list 3, close the parentheses. And stand back, here comes the answer. F is a very large number, it's 11. If F is a large number, it's way out in the tail of the F distribution, and therefore the tail is a very small number. The p-value is 0.001, much smaller than 0.05, and therefore you have to reject the null, and that means, back to problem 3, that there is a difference in these in the means associated with these 3 treatments. Okay, that's all there is to it. Let's move on to the last problem of the mastery practice problems and solutions.